Donald Trump reportedly energized by Giuliani proclaiming that there's some way he might win. Washington Post noting that after Giuliani's bizarre press conference, which was filled with unsourced conspiracy theories and all sorts of other problems, Trump's encouraged Republicans aghast, Giuliani back at it today.
And you're going to meet with the president this afternoon because he's bringing in some Michigan officials. What's going to happen this afternoon?
Well, I mean, it really depends on them and the president. I'm there just to answer any questions they have because I probably know the case better than anybody else, myself.
Now, he did not actually go to that meeting because in a related story, there was concern about COVID exposure. People who knew Giuliani long before he served as Trump's lawyer are openly, publicly bemoaning what he's become. A White House official saying this has been an absolute expletive show. Another insider says it's just, quote, saddening to see what he's become. And how do you know it's a show? Well, as we've reported, when Giuliani's under oath, it's a different story. When the judge in this very case questioned about voter fraud, Giuliani replied, quote, "This is not a fraud case." Contrast that to him when it's showtime.
I know you keep reporting falsely that we have no evidence. But you can't say there's no evidence. This is what we call evidence. You're cheating. That could have been Mickey Mouse. That could have been a dead person. Once, twice, 3 times. We're going to put Republican inspectors in pens, give us an opportunity to prove it in court, and we will. We're going to go to court. We're going to prove it in court. The censorship is almost as dangerous as the election fraud that we're revealing.
Turning to Blake Zeff, you have a lot of political experience. Have you seen anything quite like this?
No, and I have to say, I mean, this is, for those of us who have been in New York politics for a long time and saw the Rudy Giuliani of 20 years ago or so, this is a very different person. I mean, he always had views that were divergent from a lot of others and maybe even mainstream. But just this conduct and this behavior just seems truly off the wall, honestly.
How would you contrast it? I mentioned you've worked for Schumer, Clinton, Obama. How do you contrast it to the type of lawyers they bring to big cases like whether or not they win a race?
I mean, look, usually, I'm not a legal expert the way you are, but my understanding is that lawyers usually approach these things with some modicum of preparation, maybe even have evidence to substantiate your claims. Generally, you make sure that your makeup isn't running right before you step on stage. These are just basic things that they probably teach you, in your first year of law school.
Yeah, I mean, I ask you because you're on the client side of working with top flight, senior government officials and politicians. And if this is the lawyer you're sending out at this stage, I think that alone is telling. And Libby, this is not playing that well around the nation. I want to just show some of the late night comics getting in on it, absolutely roasting. Take a look.
Isn't it funny? The ones who shout fake news the loudest all have fake heads.
When Rudy wakes up in the morning, his pillow must look like a Rorschach test. Later, they had to clean Rudy off like a seagull in those commercials for Dawn dish soap.
Jimmy, do we have another angle on that? Now, obviously, it's easy to make fun of Rudy here, but it's also very satisfying.
I mean, Libby, do you really want the last TV moments of the campaign for a TV president to be the punchline, to be the joke?
I mean, Ari, you could not script this, right? If you were pitching this to your agent for a plot, a lot of this wouldn't even fly because it would seem too unrealistic. The thing is, we can't get distracted by the words that the Washington Post fact checker is using as they look at what Rudy Giuliani said. Words like crazy, conspiracy theory, bizarre. And so, the makeup is sort of the metaphor for the meltdown that was Rudy Giuliani, but also was the legal case. And you make such an important distinction. He's not making these arguments in court because he's under oath and there's an expectation. There's like a legal necessity to tell the truth. And if this just keeps going and there has to be some sort of legal, resorting to stopping what Donald Trump is doing, what you say in court, carries a very different weight in terms of the penalty you pay than what you're saying perhaps at a crowded, sweaty press conference.
Absolutely. And there's another important point. We've hit this. We are deliberately reinforcing it, Blake, given that the people in the failed plot in Michigan were welcomed to the White House. I think, even though I've tried to be very clear with everyone about the limits of all these theatrics, the substance, and we've had experts, including civil rights leaders on this program, to talk about the substance, is dead serious. And so to remind everyone, Blake, for your analysis on that component and the racial discrimination of trying to toss only certain votes, only votes out of Detroit, we want to show again what happened in that failed clash in and around Wayne County. Take a look.
I would be open to a motion to certify communities other than the city of Detroit.
We're going to certify this election the way we're supposed to, or we're not going to be playing games and picking out the people of color. That's not going to happen.
Shame on you. Shame on you for leading to this level of corruption. You have disavowed your right to even sit in the seats that you occupy. You are a disgrace.
Blake?
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's corrupt. It's racist. And, you know, we were just joking around a little bit about, or I was, about Rudy's makeup. But let's be really serious about this. In this case, you know, the election is not really that close. Joe Biden won by more than 70 electoral votes, more than 6 million popular votes. So this gambit isn't going to work. But let's be really clear about something we learned, that the Republican Party and many major figures within the Republican Party were very intent and very happy to try to attempt to undo an election. They wanted to overturn the result. They were very serious. They're taking it as far as they possibly can go. And there aren't a lot of people trying to stop them. And again, not going to work in this case, but can you imagine if this was much closer race, if this was just a one state difference, just a few electoral votes, an even popular vote, that kind of a thing, then this would really become a very different situation. And I think it's really important to remember that that's what we're dealing with.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.